Hi everybody, Chris again, 325. This 325 is probably the most widely used guitar for probably the last 20 years or so, maybe perhaps not the last 5 years, but before that for about 25 years this guitar ruled the stages of Australia. The 325 was the weapon of choice. The 225 below it was still a very good guitar, but this had the AP5 pickup. The 225 was the AP4. Not a massive amount of difference, but people appreciate the deluxe walnut back and sides as opposed to the Queensland maple. It's very robust. This one has had a hard life. It's worked in the Northern Territory, Tiwi Islands, and all across the Pacific for a very well-known musician. And it's found its way into our store. It was in pretty dilapidated condition. Maton have provided us with a new bridge, and we've checked all the bracing and basically fixed it all up with a fresh strings obviously. Anything that was imperfect has been sorted. And if my favourite guitarist, or one of my favourite guitarists, Rory Gallagher, played a Maton, this is most likely what it would have ended up looking like. But it's still got another 20 years ahead of it. It's about 20 years old or so. And it sounds great, it's robust, you don't have to worry about damaging it. It's already been damaged and fixed. So you can play almost anything on it. Slim neck, easy to play, good heads, very robust. Like I say, it's had a hard life, but we brought it back from the dead. We're calling it Lazarus. Actually, it wasn't quite Lazarus, but it's a good guitar for a very reasonable price. Give us a call if you want to know more about it. So this is the 325. There is the 425. They also made a 125 and a 125 12 string, not for very long, but they did make them. And then the 525 was a thin body, almost like a 335. That wasn't very successful actually, because they made the back and sides parallel, so it didn't sound that good acoustically. It was very good electrically, it was quite comfortable, but the musicians didn't really like it. It also looked a bit ugly. But the 325 is an old standby, perennial favourite, shall we say. They've been replaced by the Road Series, I think they call them, Solid Road Series SR. And then whilst they're great guitars, these are more robust because they've got laminated back and sides. When you're plugging in, you don't need the all solid timbers, which is more fragile. We've already had a couple of SR60s and SR90s in with cracked. Not Maton's fault, it's just that if there is a damage, it's more liable to get more serious with a solid timber guitar as opposed to the laminate. If you get a ball peen hammer on one of these, they'll just give you a little bullet hole. Do it on an SR and it'll split all across there. They do sound good though. I'm not saying they're no good, they're fantastic guitars, as most Maton guitars are. Rugged and dependable, look good, like most Australians in actual fact. Most Australian humans have those same traits. There's always a handful here, there's 4 or 5 in stock at the moment, so just breeze on down to the shop or give us a call.